This week on Battlefront, the Battle of Spratly Island, tragedy at Mischief Reef. Tonight on Battlefront, we examine the Spratly Island incident, where the USS Wasp and Winston Churchill were lost to Chinese DF-100 missiles. Battlefront has obtained unprecedented access to military commanders, plans, and videos of the incident, which took place in July of last year in the South China Sea. Since the fall of the Soviet Union in 1989, the Chinese Navy has been expanding at a prodigious pace. The People's Liberation Army Naval, or PLAN, has aggressively and illegally built, militarized, and occupied man-made islands in the Spratly archipelago north of Brunei. This is part of the Great Wall of Sand strategy, a plan by the Chinese to intimidate rivals in the region and hamstring the U.S. Navy from assisting its allies. Chinese military aggression in the area threatens to cut off access to the sea by many of the countries, like Vietnam, Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore, Brunei, Thailand, and Cambodia. And worse, it threatens Japan and the Philippines. The area is now called Mischief Reef, where recently the Chinese expanded a large force of Marines, helicopters, fighter bombers, and missiles. This is how the battle for Mischief Reef was won. In a daring plan, the U.S. landed C-130s in broad daylight at the end of the Mischief Reef airfield. Supported by landing teams and tanks from the assault carrier Wasp, and with bombardment from the Burke-class destroyers Churchill 81 and Burke 51, the U.S. made their attack. U.S. and Chinese forces fought a withering battle for control of the airfield. Sometime during that fight, in their own move of desperation, the Chinese launched 4 missiles. That connected with the Churchill, the Burke, and the Wasp. The Churchill was a complete loss. The Wasp was also hit, suffering a devastating blow, as these images show. She was hit amidships, but continued to fight, sending forth withering missile fire for the duration of the afternoon, until she too succumbed, rolling over in the bay later that night. This video, obtained by Forward Intelligence, tells the tale. The Wasp, though gravely injured, begins its final salvo. Troops from the carrier group have made their way to the Spratly Island beach. They are beginning to march on the airfield. Under support from the Wasp, all hell is about to break loose. As you can see, the Wasp continues firing. As men approach the airfield and begin their second wave, it's 11:40 in the morning. Soon, both the Wasp and the airfield at Spratly Bay will have met their fate. Under withering fire, the Chinese somehow manage to launch their final rockets. So too, the attacking forces bring rocket fire from the south. This eventually does in the hangars and the rest of the airfield. But not before final missiles take out the Wasp. As is now evident, the Chinese missiles have hit their mark. The Wasp is mortally wounded. Fire rages across the entire ship and gets to the back magazine. This brings the end. Somehow, she continues to fire. Slow motion shows us just how much flame and fire were on that boat, and how much bravery in the men of the Wasp. From this angle, the brave end of the Wasp. Incredibly, the captain of the Wasp continues to order fire. With her landing crew still ashore, the Wasp meets her end. But so does the Spratly airfield. Troops have not only approached from the south, they've hit the air base, and now they take out the hangars. The sequence you're about to see shows the victory of the valiant forces at Spratly Bay. Three ships made their way. One went home. But the job was done. Chinese aggression was met with force. You've been watching Battlefront.